Hello friends, this is Cold Run. Welcome back to the final day of Endwalker. The last thing I'm going to do before this expansion goes down for a 2-day patch is talk to Medina, and I think this is the 6.5 or 6.55, I'm not sure, one of those more recent quests that came out for Tataru, so Treasured Bonds. Medina seems eager to share something with you. As always, I'll ask your forgiveness about my memory because it's been a long time since I did the last of these. Fukushu, I have wonderful news. Thanks to your tireless deliveries, we are now overwhelmed with orders. Mistress Tataru's plan was a success. She is now a maven, a fashion maven and head of a business empire. That's another shipment sent. I don't think I've ever packed so many parcels in my life. That's right. Me to thank. Me and my new hat. Hello there, you. Yeah, I don't know this person, but maybe they met me. Hustad, what an incredible memory you must have to remember one such as I. But I don't think we were ever properly introduced. My name is Hustad. I was among those who traveled here from Palaka's stand by way of Garlemald during the final days. You and your comrades ensured our safe arrival. I'll take your word for that. I do not remember, but I believe it. I've been working with Tataru's boutique with Medina and Varsarud, albeit behind the scenes. It's rare I have occasion to visit the storefront. Varsarud, an unfortunate side effect of the constant demands on all our staff, though I think we would all agree the hustle and bustle is for the best. Yeah, it means money. And I expect it means money for you as well. Like, I think Tataru would at least share some of the wealth. But don't you wonder what we'll do once the samples have served their purpose? Our equipment is crafted to last, which is wonderful, of course, but also means our customers are not like to require replacements for some time. So if we're not constantly receiving new customers, our good fortune will eventually sour, no? Wasn't Apple like called out for some of this, like of making their products like shoddier to encourage people to use it? Or maybe it was like that makes it's unusually difficult to replace individual parts. I don't know. Mistress Tataru isn't so foolish as to have not anticipated such things. I'm sure she's already coming up with new and exciting products to offer our existing clients. Don't fall into the trap of perpetual growth. I do love me some James Stephanie Sterling. Julie, I had an idea of my own for a new product, I mean. In fact, I presented it to Mistress Tataru just the other day, a new uniform to outfit the academics and researchers of Charlian. Sure. Oh, how enterprising. And what did she say? Well, she seemed hesitant, which I could only interpret as reluctance to hurt my feelings with explicit rejection. That's possible. It's also possible that maybe she already had the idea and was like, oh, you beat me to it. That's awkward. But then she told me to look into it further and draft a formal proposal for review. That's wonderful, Medina. When she said to look into it further, did she mean for you to conduct some manner of market survey of the academics and researchers? Just so, but, well, some are involved in such sensitive work that simply approaching them is out of the question. Which is to say, my petition to enter Labyrinthos was denied. Cat issues. Instead, I decided to try the Studium. A secretarial mammoth was only too happy to schedule a meeting with an academic representative. But now that it's come down to it, I'm feeling ill with nerves. If it were on Mistress Tataru's behalf, that would be different, but this was my initiative. My idea. I would offer to accompany you, but I have to mind the counter. Perhaps you could offer Medina your support. Yeah, heck yeah. Well, thank you. Can I come as well? I'd like to start thinking of what supplies we'll need for our artisans once your plan's approved. If it's approved, but yes. Of course, to the Studium. Let's go. Hialiapo, was she from the... Again, it's been a long time since I did these. I did these off camera. For the crafting quest, was she part of those? Hello, representatives from Tataru's boutique, I presume. Oh, Kokushu, what a pleasant surprise. Though I suppose your presence should merit no shock at all given the breadth of your generosity. This isn't really about generosity. Hope I'm getting paid for this. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Magina, and I'm ever so obliged for you for making the time speaking with us. Hialiapo at your service. No need to stand on ceremony, I assure you. Most of our academics are far more concerned with their research than pleasantries, admittedly to their detriment at times. Anyway, how may I help you this evening? Especially if they're super focused on research, you got to go for function over form. I don't know what function would be. Maybe breathable, light and breathable for these. A uniform for our academics and researchers, you say? I myself am ill-equipped to offer an authoritative opinion on the matter, so permit me to arrange some meetings with faculty representatives. Oh, hello, sir. Again, I expect this is someone I'm supposed to know, but the memory of a goldfish on me. Well, in the Faculty of Archaeology, Rurusha. In the Faculty of Archaeology, we spend much of our time traipsing about ancient ruins, which often ends up ruining our clothes, if you'll pardon the pun. An outfit durable enough to handle extended use would be welcome, but it would need to be lightweight and breathable as well. This is what I'm talking about. Equatorial deserts can be most taxing, but then again, you'd be surprised just how many relics are hidden at the bottom of lakes. I assure you, I've done enough Ilmeg-like quests to not be surprised. And northern waters can get quite chilly. As it stands, my colleagues and I throw on any old thing for our fieldwork. Whatever we have on hand that's suitable for the conditions, with the understanding it may need to be disposed of afterwards. Poor Boric works his fingers to the bone as is, and if Professor Nomino caught me shopping for fancy clothes instead of interns, he'd be the one dressing me down. Misplaced priorities, never mind the tight budget. None of this is what you were hoping to hear, I realize. No, that actually can be okay. That's probably helpful to know. Yeah, you gotta keep it affordable. They're setting the parameters. You gotta have like the Starberry shoes for Charlie and researchers. Those are $15 basketball shoes. The ideal outfit for astronomers. Oh, this guy I definitely remember. Wait, Jeremiah mentioned something about fashion recently when we were stargazing. What was it? 'Tis not the clothes that make the man, Jude, but the man that makes the clothes. Very lovely and poetic, but I haven't the foggiest what it means. I suppose we astronomers often conduct our celestial observations from locales remote and chilly. You know, mountaintops and the like, so something warm? Surprised this isn't a crafting quest. If warm is their only a requirement, then I think it's safe to say this is the opposite of an untapped market niche. Yeah, there's, a million. Just go to Garlemald and anything off the rack there will help you. De Broy. These are all the crafting NPCs, aren't they? The crafting quest people. The Faculty of Medicine has strict requirements for dress on account of hygiene regulations. Fabrics that are resistant to stains and possess antibacterial properties are a must. Can fabrics be antibacterial? Additionally, we students of nutritional sciences must vigorously dart about the kitchen, so dressing for comfort is nearly as essential as cleanliness. And if it were fashionable enough to perhaps inspire others to follow in our footsteps, all the better. Indeed, style is an essential ingredient. Like the perfect loaf of Mervyn bread, the ideal outfit should not only embody practicality, but leave all who behold it with a feeling of aesthetic satiety? 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 Is that 4 syllables? How do you pronounce that? Hinageshi. Ah, We require no such clothing in the Faculty of Anthropology, for we are all nudists, and we make all that we require right here. Rather, Professor Tankin prefers to do so that he may better understand how necessity begets innovation. That's a good way to go do it. I can't say I agree with the logic, but I've grown to appreciate his sense of aesthetics now that the professor and I are, but that has little bearing on your project. Yeah, that little smile. I'm pretty sure we helped. Again, it's been a while, though. Tolakatia. Not long ago, an outfit that ameliorates ether sickness might have been my answer. However, thanks to the Faculty of Medicine's miraculous, if experimental treatment, I no longer have such a need. What's more, I don't know if I could bear to don anything but this professorial gown, at least for now. I worked so hard to earn it. Yeah, these are not great answers if you're the boutique. There's a couple of possibilities, but nothing fantastic. Maybe Tataru just wanted this character, whose name I don't remember, to see this for herself instead of feel like she was just being rejected out of hand. Well, how did it go? I don't know, to be honest. Everyone has such different preferences, I'm not sure if it's even possible to satisfy them all. They are concerned. The Studium's faculties are filled with opinionated individuals, each with their own peculiarities. Additionally, our academics spend much of their time engaged in fieldwork as opposed to seminars, which further complicates stipulations of dress. In other words, we have our work cut out for us, or academics sound just as unique as adventurers. I mean, both are, it doesn't really matter. Both are pretty reasonable. Yeah, I can relate. Different jobs for different costumes per job, different glams. Indeed, it was naive to assume that one type of uniform could account for the needs of all academics. Yeah, but you could have a general uniform and just adapt its specifics to per person. Like a military might have a uniform, but someone who's going into like a colder region has like a different variant on it. Alright, back to the boutique. And I truly thought I had a good idea. I mean, it's a starting point. No doubt Mistress Tataru knew its folly, but had me research it regardless, so that I might reach the conclusion on my own. That's what I thought. She meant well, I'm sure. See how the hardships make you strong. Yeah, your eyes lit up to that. That's an important phrase to you, isn't it? See how the hardships make you strong? Sounds Garlean. I don't know who it's from, who it actually is from. Indeed it is. It comes from the teachings bestowed upon us by the old gods. Cthulhu. Many Hanish held fast to those words and their wisdom during the final days so as not to give in to despair. Must have been from a scene from earlier this expansion. When we call upon the divinities, it is not to beg for salvation, but for guidance. So long as we live by their teachings, there is no hardship we cannot overcome. This is a core tenet of Hanish faith that has seen us through much adversity since the founding of our nation. So this is like the minutiae worship? It is as you say, Hastad. Yet, until you did, it did not occur to me to consider how they might apply to my personal struggle. Coming to Charlian and working with Mr. Tataru at the boutique, I've met so many people from all sorts of cultures, but I'm trying so hard to accommodate their wants and needs, I fear my own heritage has become, well, an afterthought. There's no shame in dedicating yourself to your work, and as we all have our limits, compromise and sacrifice are inevitable. It may surprise you, but once I aspired to become a steward. To look back on it now, it feels fanciful. Strange that we so easily let our dreams be memes, cast aside by circumstance. I swore nothing would stand between me and my chosen path, and yet, here I am. I know the divinities will guide us wherever we go, but what if we stray too far? Would I be a fool to suggest that perhaps we should return to Thavnair? But Mistress Tataru has done so much for us. We cannot simply leave the boutique at a moment's notice. I mean, I kind of agree with her. You don't have to do it immediately, but you can give your 2 weeks or your 1 week or whatever. Maybe not, but what of our family and our friends? It's one thing for us to send money and well wishes, but I wonder if we could not do more if we were there, helping to rebuild. We haven't been back to the village since the final days, and if we're already forgetting our old lives, I don't know. I just think Mistress Tataru should know how we feel is all. I mean, from what you're saying, and given what I know of her, she'll probably have you opening up like a branch out there. The lovely Tataru. Hi, what a busy counter we have tonight. Hasta, it's good to see you out from behind your usual shipping crates. Yes, I thought I'd come and help Magina with her research. We've just returned from interviewing academics at the studium. Oh, about that, Mistress Tataru. Yeah. Suffice it to say, their requirements were all radically different. I know I said a reuniform for researchers and academics, but I'm afraid I may have deeply underestimated the feasibility of such a project. And that's perfectly alright. The important thing is to learn from what you discover so you can retain and apply that knowledge as you continue on your entrepreneurial journey. The right idea for a new product will find its when it's ready. In the meantime, I have more samples in need of delivery, and seeing as Kakushu is very conveniently standing within my line of sight. A thousand pardons, Mistress Tataru, but before you continue, I wish to speak to you about a personal matter. You have shown us incredible charity, which makes this all the more difficult to ask, but I wonder if I should return home to Thavnair. Please do not mistake this as dissatisfaction with our arrangement. If anything, I've grown so accustomed to life in Charlian that I fear I've begun to forget myself. My dreams, my faith, the person I used to be before I came here. Not only that, in spite of my irregular remittances, I worry our village struggles to rebuild after the final days, while I live here happily removed from a burden I ought to share more. It feels disingenuous to both my home and the many kindnesses you continue to show us. It's not like a survivor's guilt, but it feels like something close, maybe? I see, and do you both feel the same? I've been so devoted to my work that I hadn't given much thought to returning until Hastad mentioned it, but to claim I am not worried about the village would be a lie. Barsarud. While I am of a similar mind to Magina, I must nevertheless remain here. Among other things, there is a project I am resolved to complete. This is the gift thing, right? Yeah. Well, I would be very sorry to see any of you go, but if remaining here causes you grief, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. Which is why I have decided our next set of samples shall be delivered to Palika's stand. Yeah, and you should find a way to incorporate the work there at least, even if it's not exactly as I expected. Furthermore, I ask that those who wish to visit accompany Kakushu on her errand. Seeing how your village fares is no doubt the best thing for you both right now. It'll help you understand your feelings, after which we may proceed however you desire. I don't know, she's probably a tough boss, but she's probably she seems like a good one. And should your colleague require it, I'm sure you can be relied upon to dispense the perfect advice. Ooh. Controller fell. Medjina, Hastad, give everyone my regards. Then it's settled. I'll begin preparing the samples at once. Allow me to assist, yeah. I have a very shouty cat right next to me. No matter what happens, we must finish Mistress Tataru's necklace. Are we ready to proceed with the restoration, do you think? I dare say we have enough additional materials thanks to Kakushu's dedication. As for the work itself, I think we could entrust it to the lapidary Mistress Tataru once apprenticed with. I don't know what lapidary that is. I'm sure that'll mean a lot to Tataru. That feels weirdly selfish to say I'm hoping I could do it, and I don't. So, yeah. I'm glad you think so as well. Let's leave the necklace in Varsa Ruth's capable hands and join Hastad in Negascarla's harbor. I remember when we first set foot upon these docks. After a long, exhausting journey through frozen wastes, after surviving those horrid beasts, Mistress Tataru was a warm beacon of light. Working at the boutique has helped us rebuild our lives, but I will never forget that feeling of powerlessness. Should I have stayed in Palakistan and tried to defend my people? Was I a coward to flee? Is it a betrayal to my home and to myself to remain here? Can't stop thinking in circles. Anyway, I'm glad for this opportunity to better understand where my heart truly lies. All will be well, I'm sure, but we must be off lest we miss our connecting flight. Flight? Oh, right, there are actually airships in this game. Back in Thavnair. Always too busy to travel. Defending pilgrims was enough for the stewards even before the final days. Wonder how many temple roads are still traversable. It's gotta be so weird to go back to a place after a war like this. If even those in Ratzat Han struggle to travel for worship, our feelings of estrangement may be more common than we think. Since we've come all this way, would you mind terribly if Hastad and I toured the city on our own? Let's meet in Palakistan anon. Yeah, enjoy. I don't want to third wheel it up. Not that they're a couple. I mean, just I think they're. I don't know what they are, but I think they're just friends. But home at last. Yes, home. I can finally breathe again. Come, let's go and find the elder. Is the elder still alive? I mean, I hope so. Apparently so. Elder Yeruvet. Hastad, Medjina? How wonderful it is to see you. I've been so worried. Tell me, how is life in Charlian? Are you being treated well? Yes, Elder. Our employer, Mistress Tataru, is the kindest of businesswomen. In fact, she arranged for us to accompany Kakushu on her errand here that we might enjoy some time at home. That is very good of her, indeed. I'm relieved to hear you're being looked after. You're ever a guardian to our people. Thank you for seeing these children safely home. Now then, what is this errand of which you speak? How splendid! Our stewards shall put these to good use, you may be assured. If only we could repay your generosity with something even half as marvelous. Alas, ours is a village of little extravagance. Everything seems as ever it was. Indeed, with the support of the Radiant Host and the funds you and others have sent, we have regained much of the peace we once knew. Thank the sisters. Still, there was something I wish to speak with you about, Elder. I mean, money is not to be underestimated. Like, a lot of the time, the money helps more than the actions. You are worried your heart grows distant from Favner, that you have wandered too far from home. But he's not just worried about the money. He's not just worried about how much help are we providing from afar versus in person. He's worried about, like, his sense of identity. But my child, it is only right that you should wander, that you should roam. Your heart's connection endures, no matter where you go. You yet think of us fondly enough to visit, yes? And send us what gil you can spare, do you not? Gestures, perhaps, but not true commitment. Should I not be here with all of you, working to restore our village? There is no restoring our village, Hastad. I love this. This is like, it's a very different context of it, but it reminds me of that conversation between Vina and in that amazing cutscene, and her and the other ancients, where they're saying, like, bring us back the days that we once had. She's like, no, there's no going back. Like, we have to move on. And we can approach that in different ways. We can move on. There's different ways we can choose to move on, but you can't just try to reclaim fully what you used to have. This isn't quite the same thing, but it feels similar in some ways. Without those we lost, Palakistan will never be what it was. Let's summon Zodiac, bring them all back. Yet instead we must instead do all we can to become a new village, with a new future ahead of us. Although the particulars of our path are not yet clear to me. How so? Ours has always been a settlement of stewards as well, you know, tasked with the protection and preservation of Favner's sacred sites. But we have seen our roads shaken and temples defiled by beasts. The material is not always within our ability to protect. What is everlasting is our faith, the bonds between our people and the divine. Through the old teachings, we remind ourselves of life's meaning. Yet if we wish to ensure our traditions endure for generations to come, should we not strive to do more than maintain our temples until pilgrims deign to visit? But I don't wish to tire you with an old man's musings. Surely there are other ways of ensuring our people remain connected to their heritage and their faith. All we need is the right idea, something new our village could offer. Well, well, my words seem to have inspired you. And with the worldly insights you have gained, I'm sure any future you envision for Palakistan will be nothing short of remarkable. But there is no need to rush. Take some time, speak with the others, make yourselves at home. Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do, like what else they're gonna offer. Is it like craft it? Joe Maternal figure, I'm looking at that player name. Is it, what are they gonna craft? What are they gonna create here? More precious than Gil, Hastad's deep in thought. How foolish I was to think the answer would be so simple. I would come home, roll up my sleeves, and help restore our village. I would find fulfillment. Alas, not all that was lost can be reclaimed. Our people face a new struggle. Perhaps by discovering new ways for the village to fulfill its duty, we might yet help our community. Exactly. Like the Elder said, surely our experiences in Charlian have given us a unique perspective. Not to mention Kakushu's extensive knowledge of the world. I'm sure that between the three of us, we can come up with a brilliant plan to support Palakistan. Yes, you are right. And I'm sure hearing how everyone fares will give us insights. Yeah, time to get to researching. There are also others with whom I'd like to speak once we've finished here. Mustn't forget to pay our respect. this got to be to others being like the graves of those who died. Maybe. Karita. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that beautiful equipment you delivered to the Elder. As a weaver who crafts armor for our stewards, I would love to hear more about its origins. Created in cooperation with guilds from across the world, I must have a closer look. The final days exposed my limitations of my skills. Traditional Thavnarian techniques alone did not suffice. I'm eager to hone my craft by studying the work of foreign artisans. Although in my weaker moments, I often wonder if purchasing armor for our stewards would be the superior solution. Yeah, I mean, I end up usually just buying gear on the market board, even if I'm able to craft it. Yeah, and you don't have a lot of money necessarily. As a village sustained by donations and remittances. Remittances are like wills, right? Or gifts, maybe? Just giving, gifts and wills, that sort of thing. We would be hard-pressed to afford anything so expensive, even if such suppliers were to venture this deep into the jungle. We have Utpala. Oh, hello there. Staying for a while or passing through? Our recovery has been slow but steady, though I am concerned for those who still struggle with wounds our healers cannot cure. Yeah, grief and trauma. Yeah, so basically you need some mental health care too. Ours is a tightly knit community, but I worry for those in the capital and abroad. I imagine it's difficult for them to honor the old teachings as they labor far from home. So many of us fled during those dark times. If only we could bring the comforts of community to all Hanish. So not a single desire at the moment. It's really just part of it is how isolated this place is and the unique challenges therein. Varaban. Well, if it isn't Hastad and Magina, accompanied by our savior no less, welcome home. Well, true, we're a bit short-handed, but we manage. While there's a happiness in being reunited with our young ones, we're just... Our young ones? I thought you were a kid. Maybe you're... I don't know. We're just as happy knowing that you are walking your own path, no matter where it leads. I remember Hastad couldn't wait to become a steward when he was little, but as far as I'm concerned, sending aid from afar is just as praiseworthy as tending to the temples here. Times are changing, and who's to say this can't be another form of stewardship? Well said. A steward who supports village from afar. I never even considered the possibility. That's right, you don't have to be here necessarily. Seeing everyone so eager to help one another makes me more determined than ever to contribute. Alright, to Perusa. What's Perusa? Oh, it's the temple in the southeast. Hastad. When I was little, we used to run through the wilds, playing steward and imagining fierce battles with hideous beasts. Got the scolding of a lifetime when our parents found out. So you were siblings. When it really happened, when the sky turned red and the jungle spewed forth unspeakable horrors, I could do nothing but cower. Perhaps that's why I feel so guilty for not returning. For not doing more, even though it may never be enough. But this time, I will rise to the occasion. Magina. I never used to give much thought to those who walked these roads before me. Countless pilgrims who risked their lives for faith. Aware of the dangers ahead, they pressed on. Me, I'm riding just a rough flying motorcycle over all the dangers. So strong was their devotion, so sacred the tradition. 'Tis a perilous path you walk, so it is written, and so too our forebears must have felt when braving these jungles to reach what would become our beloved home. So at the temple. It has been a while. Yes, but we made it. I'm home, Mother. Father. Here at Perusa, we may commune with the spirits of the departed. Neither Megina's nor my parents survived the final days. So maybe they're not siblings. I don't think they're siblings then. Because he said neither Megina's parents nor my parents. Instead of just saying neither our parents did not survive the final days. It's like neither my parents nor her separate parents survived them. I told them about how you saved us and that we're doing well. I know they will rest easier for it. May the next time we visit be to deliver glad tidings from Palika Stand. Though I was relieved to find the village in a better state than I had feared, it seems there are still issues we might help address. A steady source of income, for instance, the stewards can be properly outfitted without overwhelming our weaver. I was also troubled to hear about those who continue to struggle without the support of a local community. There must be some way to provide respite. Indeed, the question is what? Any thoughts? What would Tataru do? Expand your horizons or power of... I'm going to go with number 2 here. The power of a partnership. I mean, I think that's crucial here. Yeah, what would never underestimate the power of a partnership. Who can help you do this? I mean, maybe you could be independent and work with Mistress Tataru. Mistress Tataru, I'm calling her. Indeed, Mistress Tataru developed the boutique through close partnerships, after all. Look how far it's come. Wait, that's it. If Palika Stand were to enter into a partnership with the Bam. Yeah, partnership with Tataru. I think you're onto something. If the boutique sold wares the village produced, for instance, if the boutique sold wares the village produced, for instance, our people would have a reliable revenue stream. Farm to table, your farm to Tataru's table. But what can Palika Stand offer, and to whom? How about amulets and talismans or images of the deities? Something simple, created with love for our homeland and our faith, so no one forgets or feels forgotten. I like that. Our temples were created in remembrance of our ancestors and divine teachings, but reminders needn't only take the form of great works. A small keepsake may be just what our scattered brethren need to reassure themselves that they are still members of the community. This could be the answer we were looking for. I cannot wait to tell Mistress Tataru. She's absolutely going to be open to this. I also never noticed I only got this gear yesterday from a Mount Rokon run, but I never noticed the Suzaku, the Phoenix emblems on my garb. Rather, I can't wait for you to tell Mistress Tataru, Megina. That was your idea, after all. Ha! A team effort, let us say. I certainly couldn't have come up with it without you and Kukushu. If our proposal is approved, then Mistress Tataru will no doubt need assistance at Charlian. I'm ready and willing to provide it, but what of you, Hastad? What'll you do? I too will return to the boutique. One day I will come home to stay, but for now, I wish to do all in my power to help our village thrive. I'm relieved to hear you say so. Let's go and consult with the elder about our plan. Yerevet, I hear you are kind enough to escort these children. May you have my gratitude. Megina and I have talked it over, and we believe we have struck upon a new way the village might support our people. Tangible mementos of our faith. An interesting proposition. Many here would be glad to create such reminders. I expect those unable to perform strenuous labor would be especially grateful for an opportunity to contribute to the prosperity of our village, to say nothing of the options these additional funds would provide. But most importantly, we would be able to help those who have chosen to live apart from us feel that much more connected to their community and their faith. I am proud of you both for discovering such an innovative way to do so. It really is a good idea. It really is. It would likely mean Hastad and I will stay in Charlian for the foreseeable future. Then take with you the knowledge that no matter where your journey takes you, our hearts will always be as one. May the sisters guide you. We'll come back again, I promise. In the meantime, we shall see our plan to fruition. I will send word once we've determined the particulars. Right then, Charlene awaits. Oh, that's Hastad. Whoops. Right then, Charlene awaits. What about this final necklace thing? Kakushu, the necklace is back from the lapidary. He had nothing but fond memories of Mistress Tataru, and was eager to pour his everything into the restoration. The result is magnificent. The original sapphire, accented with the black pearl from the ruby sea, and rose shell of wurlet, united by a length of machi leather. Machi? I go with machi. Singular necklace symbolizing Tataru's past and present. By the sisters, what a remarkable gift. Pretty good gift. However, it wants for a finishing touch. Preferably by your hand, Kakushu. And after hearing about your visit to Palaka's stand, I know just the thing. In short, we will be proposing a new line of products to help. Is it going to be like a Minutia head or something? Like an elephant head? Maybe. To help our people feel closer to their roots, yes? So in honor of Mistress Tataru's roots, I would have you inscribe the symbol of Naldthal upon the back of the pendant. I was going to say, because the elephant doesn't really have much to do with her. Naldthal does. Get traded on. It would be an honor. And Naldthal's my, my god/gods as well. Excuse me. So is this non-rhetorical? Well, just of course this is a non-rhetorical question. Would this be open to me, this part be open to me if I weren't a max level jewel crafter also? With painstaking effort and unwavering in focus, you engrave the symbol of the traders onto Tataru's necklace. Any who behold it will surely know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this final flourish was the product of your heroic hand. This feels like a Jewel Crafter 90 thing. I'm sure she will adore... That's like a laugh, okay. I'm sure she'll adore it. Our work is officially done. I just received word from Mistress Tataru. She's arriving in the Scholar's Harbor soon. Let's go and meet her. And she's going to be like... I feel like she's going to play a pretty big role in Dawn Trail. Or at least have some role. Sorry, talking a lot always makes me yawn. Something about oxygen usage, I'm sure. Especially when you're as fat as me. I wasn't expecting a personal escort from the docks, though I dare say I could get used to it. How was your time in Palaka's stand? Did you find it worthwhile? Ambushed by a sudden business proposal. And I expect it will be super effective. So while they do have interest in our equipment, matters of recovery are their greater concern at present. Recovery, yes, but also growth, which may lead to a lucrative opportunity for the boutique, if you will permit me to suggest another new product. What if we offered handicrafts designed and produced by the people of Palaka's stand, authentic works representative of Hannish culture? For those of us living abroad, reminders of home would do wonders to ease the feeling of estrangement, and for others, such pieces would be appreciated as beautiful works of art. Our village is up to the task. You will not be disappointed. Doubt not their conviction, Mistress Tataru. product that embodies Thavnair's spiritual beauty to be shared with the whole world? Why, the boutique should offer nothing less. Though we've made wonderful progress with our samples, I believe it's time for a change of pace. And handicrafts born from a heartfelt desire to celebrate one's culture is bound to resonate with other. I think she means are bound to resonate. I think it's supposed to be plural. Because the handicrafts are the thing that are bound to resonate. And handicrafts born with that desire are bound to resonate with others. I could be wrong on that. Handicrafts might be like the singular name for the trade, for the type of supply that they're going to be providing, but I don't think so. Given her eagerness, I presume Magina intends to stay and help facilitate this new venture, but what about you, Hastad? You felt the call to return to Thavnair more strongly, as I recall. Yes, well, after talking with everyone at home, I realized that living apart from them does not mean that I must forsake my childhood dreams of service. Does he have pockets on his knees? Maybe those are just pads. I believe I can best serve my people by staying in Charlayan and continuing to work at the boutique. If you'll have me. With pleasure, Hastad. I'm gonna miss this setting, just being in Charlayan. It's a beautiful zone. Barsaruth. Mistress Tataru, if it would not be untoward, we would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation for everything you have done for us. Not untoward at all. Rest assured that I graciously accept all offerings of praise and adoration, especially ones as fine as this. This is probably going to knock her back a little bit. But how queer. The sapphire looks remarkably like the one might... Kukushu. Is this my mother's sapphire? Look, I put the symbol of no... Look, Mom, look what I did. I put the symbol of Nalthal on the back. Hers now rightfully yours. Actually, I probably would have gone with that second option. Like, hopefully we didn't overstep by doing this. It's hers. It's really hers. Never in my life did I imagine I'd see this jewel again. I love this. It was part of a family heirloom. When my mother was married, she received it from her mother. How her eyes sparkled when she spoke of one day giving it to me, I'll never forget. But when Father's business failed, we lost everything, and that was the last I saw of it. Though your heirloom did not survive in its entirety, Master Pippin managed to recover the sapphire. From there, we collected parts from clients during sample deliveries and commissioned the necklace you now hold. Now that I think of it, Kukushu often did receive mysterious gifts on those visits, so this is what that was about. So that's what it was about. Look at little Tataru. Time after time, I'm reminded that a fortune in coin promises only a fraction of wealth, of what a wealth of friendship provides. When my family lost its last gil, I became a lapidary's assistant, and that's how I met a certain miner named Minfilia. I did not know that, or I probably knew that if I forgot, but that's cool to be reminded of at least. Look, there she is. Who else is here? Probably other people I should know. We hit it off instantly, chatting every time she brought in gems for appraisal. And then one day she came not with her usual haul, but with an invitation to join the Path of the 12. The rest, as they say, is history. One serendipitous meeting that led to so many others that led to so many incredible adventures. And such a huge impact. That's how it works. That saw a poor little girl reunited with a priceless memento. Again, Tataru, I don't know Tataru's age. She could be anywhere from like 23 to like 75. probably not 75, maybe like late 40s or whatever the Lalafell equivalent to like late 40s, early 50s is. Or she could be, again, mid-20s. Our teachings say that there's more ugliness than beauty in the world. To live is to suffer. But we never need suffer alone. And what is more beautiful than the bonds we share with others? Indeed, it is these connections that give meaning to our lives. Connections for which I too am grateful, and thus compelled to advise that we return to the Agora. The counter remains unmanned, and we mustn't neglect our clients. Good segue. Quite right. Back to the work with a lot of us. We've got new products to plan. Yeah, this has got to put pep in your step for this new initiative. Maybe we won't see as much of Tataru in the next expansion. Like, maybe she'll probably just be like a little facilitator in the background. Kakushu, on behalf of the entire boutique, allow me to thank you for all you have done. I'm ashamed to admit that in our excitement to prepare Mistress Tataru's surprise, Parsaruth and I failed to prepare something for you. Totally good. Just pay me. And that sounds like the cue for Mistress Tataru. Mwahahaha. Very soon, Kakushu here will no doubt embark upon another journey to corners of the world unknown, as she is wont to do. So to wish you well in making new friends, and to remind you of those who will always hold you in their hearts, I have prepared bespoke chocobo barding crafted with love by one Tataru Taro. Okay. Because right now I think I'm rocking the diamond weapon one, or maybe the warrior of light barding. Like the Elidibus barding. I dare say the boutique will be embarking upon its own adventure in the coming days, and with true adventure indubitably comes tribulation. But with your compassion, resourcefulness, and reliability, I have every confidence that we shall succeed in our respective endeavors. To ever higher returns of both coin and camaraderie. She's such an old on. Oh, and don't think just because you're running off to the other side of the world that I don't intend to solicit your future involvement, Kakushu. It's a giant feather in her cap, isn't it? You won't escape me that easily. I doubt it not. This was a nice little quest line, a nice little side quest line. Wayfarer's barding and Tataru's bespoke framer kit. All right, let's check out this barding and then wrap up for the expansion. We got the Wayfarer stuff on you. What do you look like? You know what? I think this is good to go into... it's got a kind of a Hanish feel to it. I think this will be great to go into the new expansion with. Maybe it's a little bit too warm for it, like with the furs and stuff, but... yeah, I don't know if I'll do that, but I like it. Thank you, Tataru. Anyway, that's going to be it for me for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed if you're still here, and I'll see you in the next expansion. See you down the line in Dawn Trail. Enjoy.